Up next, woman says she shot her shot at 2 men and got shot down by both. The female loneliness epidemic may not be a myth. Let's deep dive.
The loneliness epidemic is real. I went to 2 bars, not just one, 2 bars, and I got rejected by not one, but 2 guys. Now, I usually don't go out like this, but I was feeling like I was starving for affection.
Damn.
And I just wanted somebody to make me feel pretty.
Damn.
Like my mother once told me, sometimes you go out not because you want to have fun, but you want just one person to make you feel special. And I did that tonight. And maybe, just maybe it was out of desperation. Not that I don't have a lot to live for, I have plenty. But I went out hoping to just feel a raw connection with somebody. And I got rejected by 2 people. And I felt so terrible that I ended up walking home alone to sober myself up. Because this was not the night that I planned out for myself. The loneliness epidemic is so real. And it's such a raw experience for me. And for a lot of people. Now, it is not that I don't have... I feel like I am a pretty girl. But it is not that I'm looking necessarily in the wrong places. But it is the wrong time, and unfortunately, I have knocked on every door that I possibly could have. And every door has come to me to no avail. Also, be careful walking alone at night because I just had somebody trail me. It's sad what we do when we're starving for affection. The last person that I was spending time with told me that they liked me, but I wanted so badly to be a girlfriend that it turned him away.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No.
I just wanted a connection. I just wanted someone to hold me and make me feel like the world wasn't ending. And I spent all of my time trying to make this person feel special so that they wouldn't leave me, just for them to say that I was trying too hard and for them to move on. It's absolutely crazy. So now I'm just listening to my music, going on like a 3-mile walk. This I would not advise to you. I was in a funky headspace, so I'm doing it. But be careful out there, ladies. Be careful.
We're starting to reach the end of an era because down to the aesthetic, women have convinced themselves that they don't need men so much because men will always be there, that for her to realize that the response to her not or acting or appearing to not need a man has come in full circle where she can't even get a man. She reeks of desperation. People can see that on you. And so instead of her looking at it and taking the notes from her last relationship to say that I reek of desperation and I need to do something about that, she projects outward.
So I usually avoid dating topics. It's extremely cliche, but fuck it, let's get to it. So I think we've all been ignoring this loneliness epidemic amongst women as much as we like to joke about how it is a thing amongst men. But in my own personal experience, women I date or have dated, we have conversations about this, and they have all these negative experiences from dating and the type of men they end up dating. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing dating that type of dude? And then they'll talk about how like the pool, how bad the dating pool is, and they, consider people like myself the exception, not the rule. But I let them know, it's like, well, why do you think that is? Like, men like myself, we're not out in the clubs chasing women, buying drinks, like trying to holler at everything we see. We not even outside. Like, we stacking, we focused, we building, like we getting our shit together because we see what the dating pool is. We see how messy it is outside. We see how messy the country is in general right now. I don't got time for that shit. And so we had this conversation like the only dudes that have time to be playing these games with you is niggas with no life. Of course you had a bad dating experience. Most of the good men, we in the fucking house, or we picking up a second job, or going back to school, or traveling, or starting a business, or minding our business. And then I saw a woman make this post talking about how a lot of, younger women that she know or seeing online asking where the men at, talking about how they lonely, they tired of being single, they don't know where the men are. And then she said the men in her life that she talked to shared a lot of the same sentiments that I share with the women that I've dated, or you know what I'm saying? So I just found it interesting. So then I went down the rabbit hole of like the topic that popped up with that tweet or that TikTok. And now it's like, I see all these videos of women like dancing and showing themselves off. Like, I'm single. Would you date me? And I'm like, y'all literally advertising yourselves at this point. Like it is kind of giving desperate. It's kind of fucking sad to watch. But I just find it interesting that it's not talked about near as much as the male loneliness epidemic, but it seems to be just as big an issue for the women. But like the men that I know that got their shit together, like yeah, we get lonely and shit sometimes, but like we just talk about how peaceful it is and how happy we are to have our shit together.
Yes.
And, like talking about our goals and like what we're gonna build on next. And like unfortunately a lot of women, we view them as distractions because just so much comes with dating these days. It's not worth it. It's just not. Like
Women do a phenomenal job at marketing. I'm telling you, like men, our ability to market ourselves is ass. So women can sell a message about men and about themselves that are complete bullshit. Most men don't mind being alone. They don't need women to complete them. Most men in history have never procreated. This is a fact. But women, they yearn for connection far more than men do.
I got rejected from a guy yesterday because, I'll read the text real quick. I feel like you really have your stuff together and I'm not really there yet. My focus is just kind of elsewhere. So
she continued to show her apartment and she had her TV mounted on like some decorated bricks or something.
Oh shit.
But it was a nice TV. It was like maybe a 50-inch. But long story short, I said to a girl one time I wasn't interested in. I was like, hey, you have your shit together and you too good for me. And I think it's such a funny thing. It's like when a job say you overqualified. It's like that vibe. Like how you can't be overqualified for something. You can't be too good for something. Too good means too good. Like, yeah, if you too good, it's like, but I think down, like he probably was attracted to her, which is, it happens. But I wonder, has she ever used that on a man before? Because she was super depressed, where it was like, she at like, it was like the first time she heard that, like first time she met a guy on her level, quote unquote, or a guy she was attracted to. And girls meet guys they attracted to all the time, but that's a different conversation.
I need you fellas to understand one thing. The guy that a woman is attracted to is not on her level. Women are never attracted to men on her level. They always trying to shoot above their level. They want a man to lift them up. And they know that about themselves. That's why older women fight so hard to disrupt the relationship between older men and younger women.
Listen to this. It's so embarrassing, but like, I want a friend group so bad. I haven't had like a stable friend group since I was in middle school, and I'm not going to age myself, but just know that that was a long ass time ago. I feel like for most of my adult life, I have prioritized romantic relationships, which like
Female loneliness epidemic. You hear that? That's a female loneliness epidemic. Now let me stop. Well, she prioritized her actual relationship versus friendships with women or gay men or actual men, and that's okay. But should we bash her because she has no friends? She mentioned go to a bar alone to meet other women. That never works out. That's not gonna work out. Because they don't think you're weird. They don't think you try to set them up. They think you try to set them together. R-word or something. Because you're a pretty girl, talk to a random woman at a bar. But why do they, on the internet, not her per se, but on the internet, they tease men for not having a vast group of male friends? But for women, it's okay for women not to have a vast group of friends? Nah, people don't have friends. Sometimes I think that friend thing is just the luck of the draw. Some people get very, very lucky. Some people don't get as lucky. And I think instead of teasing people and making fun of people, we got to understand, like, people have different personalities. And some personalities are harder to get along with than others. Can that be true? Can that not be true? Let's see.
Nah, the reason why they don't have friends is because women are fucking dirtbags to each other. They know the truth about each other. They know that they ain't shit. Women know that about each other. And so they can't trust each other to even tell each other the truth. Women lie to each other. That's why a lot of women are in the situations that they're in right now. Women can't even find older women mentorship because the women that are older have deluded themselves to believe that they're young. And women know this about each other. That's why they can't find friends. That's why you got a lot of those women that say that I only get along with guys. Because guys keep it real. Male friendship, them be your niggas for life, dog. You're like, really, real talk. You might have some people you fall off with, but I'm telling you, they be your niggas for life because it's always straight talk. If I'm fucking up in life, my niggas gonna let me know, nigga, you're fucking up, nigga. They're not gonna gas me up like, no, keep doing what you gotta do, king.
Y'all call me crazy, call me Gen Z, call me unhinged, but it's genuinely gotten to a point of loneliness that I have no one else to talk to but ChatGPT.
God damn.
I have no one else to talk to but ChatGPT. Like,
that is pathetic. I don't give a fuck what you got to say. She is pathetic. I'm gonna say it right here now. I'm not saying it in the sense of trying to be demeaning. The literal term, she's literally pathetic. But let's let her continue.
Like, I low-key think I need like a therapist type of friend vibe.
You probably do.
But like, genuinely, like, every time I have a problem that I don't really want to deal with in the moment, I just go to ChatGPT and ask that bitch for help because who really can't help me. And like sometimes she'd be eating with the advice, but other times it'd be like,
so listen to
why would you tell me to do that? Like, why would you tell me to do that? But then there'll be other times like I'll put a text that someone sent me into ChatGPT to help me like analyze it, and like she'd be clocking tea. Like she'd be reading shit that you would not like necessarily think about like while reading a text. Like she'll like pick up on the shade, she'll pick up on everything, bro. Like she's actually like, I don't know. My ChatGPT's a girl. I don't know about y'all, but she's becoming my new best friend. Damn it. Hold on. No. It can't be a robot. Like I just refuse to believe that. Like no.
People have to understand that ChatGPT, especially the version I think she's talking about because they updated, they respond on how you prompt them to respond. Their first mode of operation is to serve. And so they're going to answer questions according to the way that you like them, even if it's not that true. And so if you prompt her to be less realistic and true and more of what you want, then that's what's going to happen. And on top of that, the fact of the matter that you can clearly identify that that's your only friend is a clear indication that something is wrong with you and you need to make some changes because you can't make human connections because of the way you are. Maybe a childhood trauma or something. So yeah, seek therapy, but don't seek it from an echo chamber. Seek it from somebody that's going to be able to give you some real harsh critiques that you can take and evolve with.
I think that part of the reason why so many women have decided not to date men or are being very selective and very intentional is because it's not possible to love yourself and a man at the same time. Most men will not allow that. So many men have put us in a position now where we have to choose. And because we have freedom and because we can make our own money and because we have the ability to create the life that we want without a man, we're choosing to love ourselves. Even though we are capable, could, and are interested in loving ourselves and a man. But 99%, I'll say, of men simply cannot allow a woman to love herself and him at the same time.
The perspective is always flawed. Women have such a self-centered perspective, and that is the source of how they perceive reality. They can't even see loving a man and a family that you created as being a higher purpose like men do. Men who have a family, they'll put their family before their own needs. Women will put their needs before their family. And now that they're able to get in the workforce and control their destiny, they're opting to do that.
I'm so tired of hearing about the male loneliness epidemic, so let's talk about the female loneliness epidemic, because we're experiencing one too.
Yeah.
The one where men treat you like you're some fantasy object, and the moment they realize you're an actual human being with thoughts, feelings, and emotions, they're gone. Or when they want you for your body, but never have any intention of actually getting to know it or respecting it. Or when they want you for your emotional intelligence, even though they have no intention of ever reciprocating it. Or when they want you for what you can do for them, but they don't want you for who you are. That's loneliness. Crying yourself to sleep every night next to a partner who claims to love you even though his actions never follow his words, that's loneliness. Being too afraid to open yourself up to love and opening yourself up to men because we live in a world where SA, domestic violence, and femicide is so normalized, that's loneliness. The difference is that the male loneliness epidemic is self-inflicted and the female loneliness epidemic is self-preservation.
It's like you take a sword and you stab yourself with it and then blame someone else that you've been stabbed with a sword. You know, like I don't get it, you know. Men don't have a loneliness epidemic. Men actually enjoy solace and peace, you know, video games and other things to distract them. Now, when those AI robots come out where they're girlfriends and, you know, you can do things with them, we're gonna see what a male loneliness epidemic really look like, because right now the only thing women got going for them is that intrinsic value that they carry at the age of 18. That's all I'm trying to say. The mental gymnastics is crazy.
So watch these videos from women that come across my For You page. I'm like, a lot of you are gonna have to settle like greatly. Now, even beyond the point of debating whether or not
this nigga look like a genie. I can't get that out of my mind. This nigga, the big hoop earrings, I've never seen.
Men should be providers. Like, let's just say I agree. Like, men should be providers, right? The life that you want provided for you, only so many men can do that. Really, I crunched the life out of these numbers, yo. I'm talking about living in a house, you know, shopping trips, paying for all the food, nice, you know, nice clothes, stuff like that. I factored in stuff like, you being attracted to them. That's like 0.8%. You know what I didn't even factor in? Height. So it's like, if you want a man over 6 foot, you're going to have to go for like 0.14% of 0.08%. Then remember, they're going to have to be attracted to you, which, I'm not even going to do it. Let's just assume you're like the most beautiful woman in the world. Then factor in like, they got to treat you right, be emotionally intelligent. It's probably like less than 0.01. These odds are not looking good. And I feel like anytime a man says this, like people are like, oh no, he's trying to like lower women's standards so we date him. Look, I'm in a relationship, okay? So I don't need any of that. What I'm saying is like, now we talk about, there's a male loneliness epidemic that no men actually care about. I think maybe in like 10 to 20 years, I think there's going to be a woman's loneliness epidemic. Like on a
nigga, it's right now.
Based on what you're saying, like assuming that you're not just like lying on the internet, then being completely different.
They're definitely lying on the internet.
In real life, I've never really ran into women who are like super into having a provider or anything like that. Going off the internet, like, bro, a lot of you are going to be disappointed because, mind you, a lot of you, like, again, like these men also have to be attracted to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I made a video on my backup account about it. Like, it's not looking good.
See, that's his fucking problem right there. This nigga's over here doing real math when women only do girl math. The fuck does he think he is applying logic to feelings?
So I want to talk about this female loneliness epidemic we got going on, right? It's bad. See, they've been trying to say it was the man trying to use reverse psychology. But it was never the men. It was always the women. Now, you can try to prove me wrong if you want to, but before you do it, I'm going to tell you, you're going to fail epically. You're going to fail big time. The reason I say it's a female loneliness epidemic and not a male loneliness epidemic is because look at what you see on social media, right? You see all these women coming to the internet talking about how men don't approach them. You don't see men doing that.
Not at all.
That is women. Then you got all these women complaining about the passport bros. Talking about they got to go overseas to find women. That's because they lonely and bitter. You don't see men complaining about women going overseas.
Jamaica.
Men, because men are not the lonely ones. And this is the nail in the coffin, right?
Do it. Do it.
Prove that we have a female loneliness epidemic.
Do it.
This is the nail in the coffin.
Do it.
How many women do you see sharing men? Knowingly sharing men. How many women do you see sharing men? How many women do you see sharing the same baby daddy? One man can have like 5 women pregnant, all in the same area. What you mean to tell me we have a male loneliness epidemic? No, we have a female loneliness epidemic. And that proves it. Look at how many women putting up with bums. Here it is, you have a man laying in your house with no job, no car, no source of income. But yet, he is laying in your house, getting your goodies, shooting the club up, then leaving your house, going to another woman's house doing the same thing. And then turn around and have these 2 women fighting over this man with no income. Yeah, bro. We got a serious female loneliness epidemic. It was never the men. It was the women all along.
I agree with his sentiment. But what I will say to that is that man that can jump around and do all that type of shit, he must got something that he offering. Looks, good in bed, something. Because they ain't just going, just to have a man around. And he ain't gonna be able to jump around like that. There's a lot of single men out here that got their shit together that women just overlook. And so the reality of it is the loneliness epidemic is self-imposed because their standards are too high.
I saw this video today where this girl's talking about the male loneliness epidemic and something about good-looking men and like getting mad when they say no or something, but that's not really the point. I just can't get over it. This is like the 800th video talking about the male loneliness epidemic. There's no man that's complaining about this. All I see when I see the topic of the male loneliness epidemic is literally women bringing it up. There's not been a man coming on this app complaining about the male loneliness epidemic. And on top of that, this is just some videos from the last 2 days that I've seen. This girl that had like 1 million views of this girl giving you advice to stop chasing men because you guys are chasing men. This girl getting upset because a man said, what does she bring to the table? So then she makes up a fake argument. This girl talking about how men want to be chased because men don't want to go and approach and especially talk to her, like Jesus Christ. This girl that says, oh my God, I'm not going to go and chase after a guy when it's like, what the heck is going on? What is this?
I'm feeling a little lonely, like there's some rejection, so I'm gonna manifest. I'm pausing. I need a
masculine man.
It is so insane to me. I really think girls say this is a cope when like they realize that like men aren't approaching as much, and they think like we're all sitting here like in solitary confinement, just crying. Oh my God, we don't have women. Nobody's saying this. Girls are the ones coming on this app that keep framing it in different ways to make themselves feel better. Oh, it's because they're gay. It's because, they're not masculine enough. The harsh reality is, even though you might say there's a male loneliness epidemic, that is just a term that is used for the fact that males are staying single at a higher rate. That is because males don't crave relationships at the rate that women do.
Yes.
Now, is this to say there's not a group of incel lonely men that are probably lonely? For sure. But there's definitely a lot of femcels. And what's ironic is a lot of the femcels that come on this, app and talk about, their hatred for men, they're still actively looking for men. They just think that their man is like the exception to the rule. Moral of the story here is the whole male loneliness epidemic. I just literally want to scratch my brain when I hear that, because no man is saying that. Not a single man has been like, oh, dude, I hate this male loneliness epidemic that's going on. You feeling it, brother? Not happening. Okay, what do you think?
I think that women's PR is starting to lose its luster. The reason why I say that is because they have spread this rhetoric about male loneliness to project how they're actually feeling, how they're feeling lonely, and they're using it to try and, psyop men into feeling like they're lonely, and therefore subsequently approach them more. Because you never hear men talk about it, ever. No men are on here talking about how lonely they are. They're waiting on GTA to come out. The new, 6?
We are already in a loneliness epidemic. After the pandemic, the other sickness that we got was the loneliness sickness. And I'll be the first to admit, I have isolated myself to the point of oblivion. I don't know what it is. I'm just hyperly anxious. I have impending doom thoughts all the time. I lost my dad in the pandemic. He was a doctor working in the pandemic, and eso me mató. I cannot so that's to say, with TikTok going away, if it does go away for sure, this has been the one place that I have felt a sense of community, very niche things that I didn't think that other people would find interesting or funny, I have found here. This is homegrown. Ellos over there, they can't do this. This is home. This is unreplicable. Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My God, I'm just praying for us all, for our mental health, because community.
Right. Women are far more social than men are. The femcel, it hits her way harder than the incel. The incel, that motherfucker lonely, don't get me wrong. But the femcel is in a living hell, because community, socializing, friend groups, that means more to women than anything, but they can't obtain it because of their natural proclivity to not be trustworthy.
Everybody shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you something right now.
If you made it this far, check out the video we just did where a TikToker took out her septum ring and realized she was cuter, and how some women have a hard time attracting guys because they want to date younger.